Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. With the second season of the Battle Pass starting, still Centurion, I thought I would make a video having a look at the season challenges and how I'm personally going to complete them, and also give you guys a few tips and tricks. When I made the first Battle Pass video, there was a lot of people who did reach out asking for opinions on how to do some of these specific challenges, so we're going to go through them one by one, and going to go through how at least I'm going to do them, so that can hopefully help you guys out. Also at the same time, I will be streaming during the afternoons pretty much every day, and that is the time where we'll be doing the challenges, plus also doing the dailies and the specials in order to get the Battle Pass done. Anyway, let's get into the first one. Veni, vidi, vici is a pretty simple one. All you have to do is win a specified number of battles with destroying at least one vehicle. And the number of battles you have to do are 50 of them. So pretty much all you have to do is play the game, get one kill, and get a win. So this one should easily be done over time when it comes to the Battle Pass itself. Remember that the Battle Pass has a minimum of 75 days when it comes to the time you're able to do the challenges. So 50 battles in 75 days, which are wins, this shouldn't be too hard to do. You know, I'm sure a lot of people will probably get this done in a few days. But if you're one of those people who plays more casually, you'll still get this done over time. 75 days is very much long enough to be able to do this. Primus Pilus is the second one, and all you have to do is have 7 battles where you finish in first place. You don't have to win, at least according to the way that this is written. So 7 games over once again a period of 75 days to get first place. This shouldn't be too hard to do. If you are struggling with it, some of the easier ways to get first place is using American attackers, stuff like the Mauler, the AD4, the AD2, ground pound, get around about 10 ground kills in an aerialistic match, go back to the airfield, reset, do it over and over again, and that will guarantee you a first place just because you get so much score from killing ground units. You can obviously just crack out your meta lineups if you feel like it, but I wouldn't worry too much about this one because of the fact you have such a long time in order to get it done. Lucet omnibus is the next one, and this is just a time challenge basically. So you have to finish 25 battles on each type of vehicle, aircraft, ground vehicles, and fleets. Remember, the majority of these challenges are rank 3 and above, so make sure that you're playing in that period of the game. You won't be able to get a lot of these challenges with rank 2s, so therefore rank 3 and above. That also includes fleet, especially after the changes they've made with the 2 sets of fleets. So when it comes to this one, yeah, just do it over time. Like, it's just make sure you're tracking it, make sure you have the aircraft one, then switch to ground, then switch to fleet, and you could even try and do the other 2 challenges, the Veni, vidi, vici and the Primus Pilus, at the same time as doing this one, which is probably a better idea. If you complete the other challenges of this Battle Pass, you will get this one as well, just because you will have to play those game modes anyway in order to get this challenge. Quia, nominor, Leo comes in, and this one you just need to receive a specific number of streaks from the list. So once again, don't have to worry about winning, don't have to worry about losing. All you have to do is get 10 achievements of either first strike or final blow, and if you don't know what these are, first strike is when you do the first action in a game. Whether it's killing an AI or killing another player, that will give you a first strike. And final blow is the last action of the game. So if you're at the end of like an aerialistic match and you see the tickets going down and you're about to win, make sure to kill a ground target just before the end. That will give you final blow. First strike and final blow give you a little bit of SL here and there, and once again, this is one of those challenges that's just going to happen over time. If you are struggling with the challenge, go to rank 3 with an attacker or a strike fighter, something with an air spawn, and just go to the nearest AI on the ground, which is a light vehicle or a light target, annihilate it, there's your first strike. It's as simple as that. This is just an easy one, it should be very, very simple to do. Then we've got the challenge of Spurius Ligustin, and what this one is, once again, it's another streak one, and you just have to get 30 professionals. Now, the way that you get a professional is if you kill more than 3 tanks in a ground realistic match, or in an air realistic when it comes to, the amount of players that you've killed. Every time you get a kill after that and don't die, you will get a professional. So let's say you end up a match with 6 kills and you don't die once. That means in that match you will get 3 professionals. So therefore you want to pick a lineup where you have one very dominant tank and you don't plan on dying when it comes to it. I mean, nobody plans to, but you know how it goes. And over time you will get this as long as you get a 4 kill streak in that vehicle. If you get a 4 kill streak, that will equal 1 professional. You just do that 30 times and there you go. Done deal. One of the things that is pretty good for this is AAs in Ground Arcade. They work pretty well. Obviously meta mediums in Ground Realistic as well. Air Realistic, this one's a little bit harder because obviously you need a decent amount of kills, and in Air Realistic getting a 4K is not something that comes around all the time. In Air Arcade it's a lot easier to get this one just because there are so many people flying about and so many spawns. So if you're struggling with this one, I would suggest going to Arcade, but if you are looking to do it in a different mode, Ground Realistic is the way, and just use a very meta medium and just get 4 kills in it. Plenus Gradus is another simple one. You just have to destroy 250 enemy vehicles. You'll do this over time while doing the other challenges, don't worry about it. Alea, iacta, est is just the same as what we saw last time with the Hedgehog and Company one. So you have to destroy or help allied players to destroy a specific or a specified number of enemy vehicles using the Season's premium vehicles. So basically the T55E1, the ITPE, the Z25, or the Centurion Mark V. So you just have to get 40 kills. You could maybe, if you want a little bit of variation, do 10 kills in each. If you want to do that. I did mine in the Matilda Hedgehog last time, just to get it out the way. I'm probably going to do it in the T55 this time, when it becomes, an award. This is just one that, it just means that you get a little bit of experience with the vehicles that you get out of the pass. So whatever ones you have available to you, just get it done. Have a bit of fun and enjoy yourself. Bellum, omnium, contra, omnes is the next challenge, and this one's kind of an interesting one. So you need to destroy 10 enemy vehicles of another type of military branch. So in this one you have to actually complete 2 achievements. You have to destroy air targets with ground and naval machines, destroy ground and sea machines with air. So what you just have to do is you have to, let's say, go into Ground Arcade or Ground Realistic, use an SPAA to destroy aircraft, or go into Naval and destroy planes. Then, while using planes, you have to destroy ground and sea stuff. Now, this will generally happen if you're already playing stuff like Ground Realistic and also Naval Realistic or Ground Arcade and Naval Arcade. So this one is much more designed for those modes and isn't really designed for the air ones at all, because of the fact that air only really fights air in this game. So as long as you play, Ground Realistic, Naval Arcade, Ground Arcade, stuff like that, use some SPAAs to destroy aircraft, so therefore you get the air part of the challenge done, and then use stuff like aircraft to either destroy tanks or naval units in Naval Arcade or Realistic, you'll be able to get this done. So do a little bit of CAS, do a little bit of AA, that will easily, finish this off. You only have to destroy 10 enemy vehicles of each, so it won't take that long, but it's just one that also should normally happen over time. But if you only really play one mode, you might just want to keep an eye on this one, just to make sure that you get it done. The next challenge is the challenge of Numerius Granonius, and this one is probably one of the harder ones that's going to be around. You have to get 20 of the Hero of the Sky, heavy metal hero, or terror of the sea. So pretty much what you have to do is you have to destroy the most aircraft in air battles, or the most ground vehicles in ground battles, or the most naval vehicles in naval battles. And this has to be not less than 12 in arcade, and not less than 6 in realistic. So this is a tall challenge. It's going to be quite a hard one to do, and it means that cracking out those meta lineups are going to happen. If you go to the Twitch channel and type in !grind, that will be that will take you to a video on this YouTube channel, which will give you all of the meta lineups which I would use to do this. Basically, 5-7 China for ground, something like 6-3 America or 6-0 America for ground as well. Then you've also got 5-7 Germany. That's a very strong lineup to use. 4-3 Soviets as well is a very banger lineup at rank 3. And for Hero of the Sky, getting 6 kills in air realistic is not easy to do, just because once again the amount of players that exist. So that might be worth trying to get that in air arcade, just because of the amount of respawns. And in naval, take the Japanese, hopefully get a massive map, use the Shimakaze, which I hope is rank 3. Actually, it might be rank 2. You might not be able to do that anymore, unfortunately. Oh, let's see. Oh no, the Shimakaze is still rank 3. Yeah, so take the Shimakaze and then just torpedo everything to death, and then you'll be completely fine, and you'll be able to win the battle. So this one, as I said, it's going to be the tough one. It's the one which you're going to have to really work hard for. 20 of those is just not a nice thing to be able to do. So we're going to have to see how that goes. But use the meta lineups. Make sure to have a look at them and get involved into that one. Morituri to salutant. This one you just have to get critical hits, so you need 100 critical hits overall. By doing the other challenges at the same time as this one, you will get it done. 100 critical hits, see it as 100 kills, and already that should tell you it won't be too hard to do. This is just a time challenge, and you'll get this one over time, as long as you are trying to do the other challenges as well. Per aspera ad astra is just win a specified number of battles. You just need to have 50 victories. This will happen over time as well, just while you're doing the other challenges, so don't worry about it. The next one is spiro, spero, and this one I don't really like, but it's one that's going to have to get done. So you have to destroy a specified number of enemy vehicles while your vehicle is critically damaged or on fire. So you need 30 kills while you are either on fire or critically damaged. Critically damaged normally means one of your components is destroyed, or you are down a crew member when it comes to, air, ground, and naval. So if that is the case, ground is probably the easiest way to do this. Take a vehicle that does normally survive one shot, and if it does survive that shot, then you will be able to fire back. Maybe at high tiers, this is probably one of them, or one place to do this in, just because a lot of people shoot you, hit your engine, and you'll be able to retaliate, smashing them in the face. Aircraft, this is probably going to be quite a hard one in, unless you do it in air arcade, because obviously in air arcade there's a lot more stuff going on, a lot more people just flying about the place, and obviously pretty much everybody takes damage while moving around. But this is just one you're going to have to do over time. It does mean that you're going to have to play a little bit suboptimally, but what are you going to do, It's just one of those things, unfortunately. Challenge of Antonio Nasoni comes in, and this one is you just have to finish in the top 3 of your team in 5 battles. As I talked about before, if you want to get challenges like this done pretty quickly, play a realistic and go ground pounding and a very powerful attacker, whether it's an AD4, AM1, AD2, or maybe something lower, which is at rank 3. Something maybe like an SA Helldiver or something like that, if that is rank 3. That's the easiest way of getting high ranks in battles if you don't want to, turn your brain on too much. So do that, get it done quick, and then don't worry about it going forward. Now, the next one has caused a lot of conversations recently, and this is Citius, Altius, Fortius, and you need to destroy one enemy vehicle with each specified weapon types: the artillery strike, bomb, rocket, ATGM, ASHM, torpedo, or depth charge. Now, a lot of these are pretty simple. You know, with bombs, you can just use CAS aircraft in ground arcade or ground realistic. Rockets, exactly the same thing. I would recommend something like the F4U7 or the AD4 for that route. The ATGM, obviously you can use stuff such as helicopters if you feel like that, or stuff such as ATGM launchers, which are littered through each of the tech trees in ground. The ASHM, obviously the anti-ship missile, you could use that as well, but I think going for the ATGM is the way to go, just because on the ASHM part, you are pretty limited at the time. Torpedoes, naval arcade, shimakaze, get it done. Simple as 16 torpedoes, bang, 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 cover their spawn, there's no way they're getting out. Now, depth charge. This is the one that people have looked at and gone, how am I going to do this? And I think it's a fair cop, because it's not going to be the easiest thing to do, especially with the rank 3 bit put into it. So the way I'm going to try and do this, and the way I would suggest other people try and do this, is I'm going to try and use the rank 3 of coastal fleets, machines such as the Fairmile D617, and I'm going to try and up tier them into the lower BR destroyers. So the reserve destroyers generally start at about 3.3, and at 3.3 what I found is when we had to do that thing at Christmas where it was you had to try and torpedo, you know, blue water fleets with coastal fleet vehicles, it actually worked pretty well, because lower tier destroyers don't have a lot of secondary armaments, and also generally the people playing them are normally quite new to the game, or at least new to naval. So you can sneak up on them with smaller machines and actually drop stuff right next to them. And, you know, you have machines such as the Dark class that can carry depth charges, you know, can carry 2 of them. Same with stuff such as the Fairmiles, they can carry some as well. Then you've also got, you know, other machines from other nations which carry depth charges. And the general idea is to get alongside a destroyer and then just drop depth charges right next to them and hope for the best. This may take quite a long time, and it does, you know, mean that the stars do have to align, where, you know, the destroyer player has to not understand what's going on or not see you, and you have to get right up on them to be able to get it done. But it's the only way I can think of doing it without causing significant annoyance by trying to launch or yeet depth charges at enemies, or trying to drive by lower machine boats which are going to see you coming. So I'm going to try and depth charge the 3.3 destroyers and hope for the best. Hopefully that goes well. Aquila non captat muscas is the next one, and this is another toughie. So you need to destroy a specified number of enemy vehicles that are at least 1-0 battle rating higher than your vehicle, and you need to get 20 kills. So when it comes to this, you can't really do it in Air Realistic unless, you know, you get lucky with the matchmaking. In Air Arcade, you can up tier, you know, something to a level. You know, if you're very confident with a specific type of plane, then you could easily up tier it and get the kills through there. Or in Ground Realistic or Ground Arcade, you can up tier some pretty useful machines. Now, normally the way I would do these ones is I'd actually do it with the ZIS 30 at 2.3, but that's rank 2, so that's not going to work. We need a rank 3 machine that or above. So you have to pick machines which have really nice guns and also have a great ability to be up tiered. And one of them is the Su-85. The Su-85 with the D5S gun, even though it is just a tank destroyer, can get a lot done with that 85mm. It's an incredibly impressive gun that will penetrate a lot of targets when it's allowed to. The ASU-57 also isn't a bad shout when we look at stuff like this. And then also the Achilles or the M10, even though it's not a great gun platform because of the fact that it is a little bit wobbly and also doesn't have the greatest turret traverse, it it does have a very mean gun, and that gun does have very high penetration on it. So if you're looking for a vehicle to up tier, that would be the ones that I would pick. You also have the Hellcat, so you can use its mobility to go around at 7.0 or 8.0 and be able to take on stuff like leopards. That could work incredibly well. And since the Hellcat is in so many trees now, you have so many options to be able to do that. You're pretty much looking for vehicles which have a really good penning gun, but not a lot else, and that's why they're a lower BR. Stuff like the PVKV2 as well for Sweden. That thing's gun is immense for the tier that it's at and can easily be up tiered with help from, if you want to stick it in a 6-7 lineup or maybe even a 5-7 lineup with the STR-V74, take it as a firstborn, see if you can kill a tiger or a panther, which you will easily be able to do because of the penetration on the gun. So those are going to be the ones I'm going to try with. Hopefully you have some options too, because this one's going to be a bit rough. 2 eras of Centurions is the next one. That one's easy. Just win 10 battles on British and Italian vehicles each. This just means you need to play British rank 3 and Italian rank 3 and just win 10 battles. Like this is a softball one after a bunch of them, which are going to be pretty hard to do. So I wouldn't worry about this one. Just make sure to remember this one exists. It's going to come right at the end of the battle pass, and you don't want to miss out on it since it is pretty much just a freebie. I would stick around the lower ranks for Britain to be able to get this done, because 8.3 and up, the win rates are a little bit rough. Or you can just play a realistic around those low BRs too and have a bit of fun. Italy across the board's pretty good, so you don't have to worry about it too much. So that is all of the challenges for this season of the Battle Pass. There are definitely some which are hard, such as the 20 achievements for the Hero of the Sky Heavy Metal one. That's going to be rough, but can be done over time. A lot of them are pretty simple. They're just following, playing, and getting them done. You'll do a lot of them by finishing your dailies and your specials, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just focus on those very specific ones, which are quite hard, and you'll be fine, and everything will be good. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Teddy, John Ryman, Universe, Conte Baraka, Trigger Hippie, Eugens Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Hosest Kishol, Hans, Barine, and Samuel Schlick for supporting the channel.